of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
Now we begin the English language transmission from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People.
Here is mixed covers. 성악 General 김일성. prisonnier 커버 성업 제너럴 김정일
You are listening to Voice of Korea News Now. Respected Kim Jong-un received the message of greetings, gifts, and medals from the National Federation of Associations of Reserve Officers of Russia on the occasion of the Day of the Sun, the 4th anniversary of President Kim Il-sung. They were handed to Kim Yong-jae, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the DPRK to Russia on the 8th by Alexeyev Alexander Anatolievich, first Vice Chairman of the Federation. Respected Kim Jong-un received the message of greetings sent by Geronimo Ossa Eporo, General Secretary of the Democratic Party of Equatorial Guinea, on the 11th. The message said, on April the 11th, 2014, the second anniversary of Your Excellency Marshal Kim Jong-un's election as first Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea, all members and supporters of the Democratic Party of Equatorial Guinea have the pleasure to extend, in the name of President Obiang, the founder and chairman of the party, warmest congratulations to you, elected as the great leader of the Korean people, and through you to the Workers' Party of Korea and the entire Korean people. The message sincerely wished His Excellency Marshal Kim Jong-un welfare and grand celebration of the day. The participants in the 29th April Spring Friendship Art Festival respectfully sent a letter to respected Kim Jong-un on the 17th. The letter extended the warmest congratulations to His Excellency Kim Jong-un on his re-election as first chairman of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK at the first session of the 13th Supreme People's Assembly, according to the unanimous will and desire of the entire Korean people. The letter said, the recent festival, which recorded another proud page in the history of the April Spring Friendship Art Festival to continue century after century, made a great contribution to further consolidating the ties of friendship, solidarity, exchanges, and cooperation among the artists of different countries of the world, loving truth and peace and aspiring after the development of genuine art, fully demonstrating again its noble idea, wonderful tradition, and great superiority and vitality. Thanks to Your Excellency Kim Jong-un, the great President Kim Il-sung and His Excellency Kim Jong-il will remain alive in all our hearts. And April Spring Friendship Art Festival will constantly develop into a grand international art festival century after century, the latter added. The latter wholeheartedly wished His Excellency Kim Jong-un good health and happiness. Seminars on the exploits of the great leaders of Korea, book and photo exhibitions, film shows, and other colorful events took place in Romania, Germany, the Democratic Congo, Colombia, Karachi and Lahore of Pakistan, Tehran of Iran, and Vienna of Austria on the Day of the Sun. Displayed at the venues of the event were photographs of the great Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il and respective Kim Jong-un in their revolutionary activities. Also exhibited there were their famous works and other books and photos introducing the successes achieved by the Korean army and people in the building of a prosperous socialist nation. Korean documentaries, including Kim Il-sung and Eternal Treasures of Praise of the Sun, were screened at the film shows. Congratulatory messages to respected Kim Jong-un were adopted at events held in Karachi and Lahore of Pakistan and Vienna of Austria. And lectures were given in the Czech Republic, Mexico, Guinea, and Nigeria, and the Peruvian Central Meeting was held in Lima on the same occasion. The United Confederation of Koreans in Russia held a meeting of Koreans in Russia on the 12th on occasion of the Day of the Sun. Present there were An Sang-jin, Vice Chairman of the United Confederation, and other Korean compatriots. The participants first laid bouquets before the full-length picture of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il standing together at the venue of the meeting and paid homage to them. Meanwhile, the Koreans in Uzbekistan held the 21st Korean National Art Festival in Tashkent region on the 13th to celebrate the Day of the Sun. The Communist Party and the NS Travel Company of Germany posted special articles illustrated with smiling portraits of the great leader President Kim Il-sung on their websites on the 8th on the occasion of the Day of the Sun. The articles said President Kim Il-sung clearly indicates the road for humanity to go with a race as bright as the sun, as his name shows, one second great human power. His exploits in state building will shine forever, along with the everlasting prosperity of Socialist Korea, the articles added. The 29th April Spring Friendship Art Festival, which grandly opened in Pyongyang, the capital of the DPRK, on the 11th last, closed. The closing ceremony was held at East Pyongyang Grand Theater on Thursday. Present there were Kim Ji-nam, Secretary of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, officials concerned, and working people in the city. Also on hand were foreign artists, overseas Korean artists, foreign diplomatic representatives, representatives of the international organizations, military attaches, and staff members of foreign embassies in the DPRK, foreign guests, and overseas compatriots. Organization prizes were awarded to the Academy Ensemble of the Interior Unit of the Russian Ministry of Interior, the Dongfeng Song and Dance Troupe of China, the Song and Dance Ensemble of the Mongolian Army, Art Troupe of Koreans in Japan, and Art Troupe of Koreans in China, and Prize of Merit, Prize of Creation, Individual Prize, and Prize of Ensemble were awarded to many artists and works. Diplomas, gold and silver cups for the festival prizes were awarded. The letter to respected Kim Jong-un sent by the participants in the 29th April Spring Friendship Art Festival was adopted amid enthusiastic applause. After the festival was declared closed, the festival flag came down to the strains of the Korean song Paean to the Motherland, and there was a performance of artists from many countries. Kim Young-nam, president of the Presidium of the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK, sent a message of sympathy to Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, on the 15th. The message expressed deep sympathy and condolences to the President, government, and people of Nigeria and the bereaved families of the victims upon the settlement of heavy casualties by a recent bomb explosion in the suburbs of Abuja, the capital of Nigeria. The message wished the Nigerian government and people success in their work to ensure stability of the country under the leadership of the President. A joint friendly meeting with the participants in the 29th April Spring Friendship Art Festival was held at the Taekwondo Hall in Pyongyang on Thursday. Present there were members of the organizing committee of the festival, officials concerned, foreign artists and overseas Korean artists. The delegations and delegates of the Tutsi Idea Study Organizations staying in the DPRK on the occasion of the Day of the Sun visited Namgyongdae, the birthplace of President Kim Il-sung. They also visited the venue of the 16th Kim Il-sung Festival, the only children's hospital, the People's Open-Air Ice Rink, the roller skate park, and other places. Meanwhile, Representative Cho Il-min and members of the Pyongyang mission of the South Korean Anti-Imperialist National Democratic Front visited the venue of the 16th Kim Il-sung Festival on the 17th. National leader Alberto Anaya Gutierrez, head of the delegation of the Workers' Party of Mexico on a visit to the DPRK, was interviewed by the Korean Central News Agency on the 16th. He warmly congratulated respected Kim Jong-un on his re-election as first chairman of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK at the fifth session of the 14th Supreme People's Assembly. He said the DPRK is successfully building a powerful socialist nation, safeguarding the sovereignty of the country and demonstrating its dignity all over the world as Kim Jong-un is brilliantly carrying forward the Sungun or Army First politics. The profound revolutionary ideas of President Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, and Kim Jong-un are a beacon lighting the road ahead of us, and they will display a great vitality in the revolutionary struggle and practical activities forever, he noted. He sincerely wished respected Kim Jong-un good health. The Secretariat of the Committee for the Peaceful Reunification of Korea issued information 1059 on April the 16th. The information said, on April the 14th, the South Korean prosecution made public the final investigation results on the spy case of a Seoul City official, which caused a great public criticism in South Korea, and continued, it is a case in which the intelligence service imposed the suspicion of spying on a Seoul City official of North deserter origin that he had gathered information about the deserters and held information to the North. But it was fully disclosed in the course of investigation that the powerful evidences presented by the intelligence service had all been fabricated by the investigation team of the service, giving rise even to diplomatic problems. And the agents of the intelligence service who had counterfeited the official documents and the employee of the service who had a hand in the fabrication attempted suicide, leaving behind a will that they had been dictated by the seniors. As they could no longer hide the truth, the prosecution shifted the responsibility onto a few juniors and fired them. The pardoned Nam Jae-sun, director of the intelligence service, was the mastermind of the case. As the public criticism became serious in South Korea concerning his acquittal, not only Nam Jae-sun but also Park Geun-hye made an apology, though nominal, saying they are sorry for worrying the people and they keenly feel responsibility. The recent case is another living evidence fully exposing the dirty nature and crimes of the intelligence service, which does not hesitate at any mean plots for political ambition and confrontation with fellow countrymen. Park Geun-hye must act with discretion, clearly knowing that if she keeps patronizing Nam Jae-sun, she would share the same fate with him. The Genuine Democratic Movement of Brazil, the All India Indo-Korean Friendship Association, and the Uganda National Executive Committee of the Pan-African Movement recently issued a statement. And Franco Cossanti, Secretary General of the Italian Committee for the Study of the Tutsi Idea, sent a protest letter to the Japanese Minister of Justice and Foreign Minister in denunciation of the Tokyo District Court's decision on allowing the sale of the land and building of the Korean Hall of the General Association of Korean Residents in Japan, masterminded by the Japanese authorities. And that's the end of the news, read by Cha Jung-nam. This is Voice of Korea. The Daily Minju Joseon carried a commentary on Friday under the title, Diplomatic Guideline for Dishonest Purpose. The commentary said, some time ago, Japan announced the so-called Diplomatic Blue Book for 2014, which clarified this year's guideline for diplomatic activities, and continued, in the Blue Book, Japan questioned the nuclear and missile issue of the DPRK and pressed that it is the greatest factor endangering security of Japan in East Asia, and the importance of the Japan-US alliance is increasing as never before. In the diplomatic blue book, Japan raised a threat from North Korea again, which is a manifestation of deep-rooted hostility against the DPRK and the sinister attempt to attain its dishonest political purpose. As for the nuclear and missile issue questioned by Japan, it is an inevitable product of the U.S. hostile policy towards the DPRK. Actually, it performs the function of a powerful deterrent means to prevent another war on the Korean Peninsula and, in the end, exerts an affirmative influence on the surroundings of security of Japan. The Japanese reactionaries attempt to attain a double purpose by using the political card of threat from North Korea. It is aimed at getting rid of the serious diplomatic isolation caused by the militaristic policy of deviation to the right and providing favorable conditions to realize their militaristic ambition for overseas expansion. Japan should behave itself properly if it does not want to suffer disasters through meddling in the issue of the Korean Peninsula, which is like part of the magazine, the commentary stressed. That was the commentary under the title, Diplomatic Guideline for Dishonest Purpose, held in the daily Minju Joseon on Friday. This is Voice of Korea.
Shooting the moon covers the leader is the eternal sun. Now, you're in your string quartet. Reagierling swoje stanie smile. represent the sun with a single heart, created in Churchill Business Fabric for 1968. Who has brought us today's happiness? It is the Workers' Party, and the leader. We will devote even our lives with a single heart on the road indicated by Marshal Kim Il-sung. Now, you enjoy your female sex ed. Our leader Kim Il-sung, loved by the people.
Oh,
Quartet, You Are Our Mother. Appreciate the female duet, Lover.
was already reported that Priest Kim Jong-un, an agent of the South Korean intelligence service who had illegally intruded into the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, was detected and arrested by a state security organ on October 8th last year. Telling home and foreign reporters on February 27th last that he is an agent of the South Korean intelligence service, Kim Jong-un begged for leniency despite his anti-DPRK crimes. But the South Korean puppet instigated the intelligence service to let loose a string of extremely shameless sophistries that it is a fabrication which has nothing to do with the National Intelligence Service, and the man engaged in purely religious activities was detained, negating their conspiratorial motives against the DPRK. Concerning it, a reporter of Radio Pyongyang interviewed Kim Jong-un on April the 14th. As to the insistence of the South Korean intelligence service that it had no contact with Kim Jong-un and did not use religion as its agents, Kim Jong-un said,
제가 중국 단동에서 선교 활동을 하면서 국정원 일을 한 것은 단동에 사는 여러 남쪽 선교사들에게는 비밀이 아닙니다.
It is not a secret to a number of South Korean missionaries in Tandung that I served the National Intelligence Service while conducting missionary activities in Tandung of China. Many missionaries in Tandung know well that I had cooperated with the National Intelligence Service. They include Priest Kim Hong-myung, employee of the Canaan Farmers School, Priest Lee Jin-ro at the seminary in Tandung, Chae Kyu-young, manager of the Tandung Rawon Rice Cake House, and Priest Lee Yun-sang, who was the chief of the Chinese region of the Overseas Missionary Office of the Baptist Church. Kim Jong-un cited, for instance, a conversation with Priest Kim Hong-myung at the coffee shop of the Oreo railway station in Seoul in October 2011, conversation with some missionaries at the Korean Center of Education and Culture in Tandung in April 2011, and so on. Kim Jong-un said many people, including his family, witnessed the fact that he was connected with the National Intelligence Service, and continued,
현재는 남쪽 부산시 다대포에 사는 탈북자 김영순이가 저를 국정원과 처음 연결시킵니다.
Deserter from the north, Kim Yong-sun, who is now living in Daepo, Busan City, South Korea, is the first person who connected me with the National Intelligence Service. He said his wife and two sons have witnessed his meeting with a man surnamed Han, a section chief of the National Intelligence Service. Around August 2011, according to Han's promise to have lunch, he dined with him on 2 occasions, together with his 2 sons, Kim Myung-yup and Kim Do-yup, respectively, at a 2-story restaurant before a hotel in the southern end of the Dongho Bridge in Seoul, and at the Nulbom Park in the southern end of the Seongsu Bridge. Chatting at the coffee shop after the dinner, Han introduced reporter Chae Ki-young from the Christian television to Kim. Kim Jong-un also said that around February 2012, his wife too had a lunch together with Han and Woon Kim Joo-won, who is said to be his junior, and Kim Joo-won is the section chief of an organization for supporting the North. He explained the dance situation in detail. Now the South Korean intelligence service insists that it does not use missionaries as its agents, and on the contrary, an organ concerned of the DPRK imposes the crime of espionage on him so as to lessen the burden of detention of the missionary. Concerning it, Kim Jong-un said,
사실 제가 국정원 2부장을 먼저 찾아가는 것이 아니라 그가 먼저 저를 찾아 협조를 요청했습니다.
In fact, I did not call on the man surnamed Ri, a department head of the National Intelligence Service first, but he called me first and asked for cooperation. Kim Jong-un told that Ri called him for the first time around early October 2009, but Ri rang him up again when he came back to Dandung after being expelled from Laos towards January 2010 after his imprisonment there for his taking North Koreans to South Korea, and that Ri met him in Seoul toward April and introduced himself in detail that he is a department head, an employee of the National Intelligence Service. He also told that when he came back to Dandung around May, he secured a safe private house for Ri at his request, that he showed motion pictures dealing with his underground church activities, and that he received 7 DMB satellite television sets from Ri, who demanded him smuggle them into North Korea and let him know about their use. Kim Jong-un also testified to the fact that he met Christy Kim Hong-myung of the Canaan Farmer School in Bandung at the coffee shop of the Oreo railway station in Seoul in October 2011, and heard from him that in Bandung there were several missionaries cooperating with the National Intelligence Service while getting help from it. Talking about Han, a section chief of the National Intelligence Service, Kim Jong-un said, "Such acts clearly show that the National Intelligence Service is using missionaries as its cooperators and is actively calling on them to involve and use them." Now the South Korean Ministry of Unification says that an organ concerned of the DPRK made public his detection and arrest through the Korean Central News Agency, but did not make clear his identification. The ministry slanders it as an humanitarian act. Concerning it, Kim Jong-un expressed his view.
사실 저는 빨리 조사받는 것을 끝내고 다음 단계로 넘어가고 싶었지만 조사 과정에 저로부터 지하철 조입을 받아.
As a matter of fact, I wanted to have my investigation finished as early as possible and go over to the next stage. But I think in the course of investigation that there were many difficulties in confirming entities of 33 North Koreans who had received underground church education from me. What if, without finding out all of them, it was reported on television that Kim Jong-un was arrested in the DPRK and I educated the 33 people? Kim Jong-un said his families also witnessed his connections with the South Korean Intelligence Service. The South Korean media reported that his wife had said she does not know his relations with the intelligence service. Concerning it, Kim Jong-un said,
바람직이 아내가 그렇게 이야기를 했다면 그것은 벌써 국정원의 관리를 받고 있는 것으로 생각됩니다.
If my wife said so, she is under the control of the National Intelligence Service, I think. I would like to say to my family members that they should not be afraid of those of the National Intelligence Service, nor compromise with them, but open to public in detail through media what I have done for the service and my underground church activities. Kim Jong-un said the note that he had used in China carries the addresses and materials on Lee and Han, and enough evidences can be got from the Internet Telephone Communication Company and the KT Communications Company using the Internet telephone number 070-7616-9765 and his telephone number 010-5116-3497. And he requested his wife to make clear the fact that she had dined with Han and Kim Soo-won, employees of the National Intelligence Service, and also his two sons to clarify what their father had done for the National Intelligence Service. You've been listening to an account under the title, Shameless Discussion Disclosed. This is Voice of Korea.
What aggravated situation of the Korean Peninsula? The United States vilifying the measures of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea to defend its sovereignty as provocation is building up its arms in the Asia-Pacific region and whipping up its stooges trying for pressurizing the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. At the inaugural ceremony of the Policy Institute of the Asian Association on April the 8th, Deputy U.S. State Secretary Burns said, North Korea has tormented all the U.S. administrations since President Truman, but it has got much more serious under the present leadership, and spoke ill of the regular military training and self-defensive nuclear policy of the DPRK. Even talking about priority to cooperation with the Allies, he made senseless outbursts the diplomatic possibility would be tested while keeping the atmosphere of pressure on the DPRK. It is a repetition of the existing stand of the United States, petrified with the tough countermeasures of the DPRK, to shift the responsibility for the aggravated situation of the Korean Peninsula onto the DPRK and instigate its followers and what neighboring countries to persist in its futile moves to isolate and suffocate the DPRK. It is a shameless attempt unfitting to its size that the United States makes desperate efforts to get concession of the DPRK by working its neighboring countries. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea will do what it should do to cope with the U.S. hostile movers, whether it makes a fuss by whipping up its followers or instigates somebody to intensify pressure on it. The base cause of the aggravated situation of the Korean Peninsula and destruction of the process of denuclearization lies in the vicious U.S. hostile policy towards the DPRK. The United States should bear in mind that the abandonment of its hostile policy towards the DPRK will be the only solution of the issue. You've been listening to an account under the title, "The Aggravated Situation of the Korean Peninsula." This is Voice of Korea.
Dear listeners, with this we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Southeast Asia between 5 and 6 hours UTC on 14,650 kHz and 15,105 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz and 13,650 kHz. For Middle East and Northern Africa between 16 and 17 hours UTC on 9,890 kHz and 11,645 kHz, and between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 9,875 kHz and 11,635 kHz. For Southern Africa between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 7,210 kHz and 11,910 kHz. And for Central and South Americas between 4 and 5 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz, 13,760 kHz, and 15,180 kHz. And between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,710 kHz and 15,180 kHz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.